we've seen him fight.
I'll tell you, this fight is having a terrible effect on both men. They are really absorbing some punishment out there in a no quarter-asked situation. Both men, well, conditioning is obviously going to tell. Neither man has been down, and both have been hit and nailed with some solid shots that have stunned each of them, but not to the extent where they were at the mercy of the other man.
One of Armstrong's losses came in a 10-round loss to Mike Smith. And I got to give Mike Smith credit.
A lot of blood flowing now from the face of Cecil Coffey. It looks as though he was cut up around the eye, but left it. Davy Pearl was taking a look at it. He kind of shoved Pearl away. Before this round started, his corner said to him, "How are you?" And he said, "I'm just fine." Boom, out he came. Looked good for about the first 10 or 15 seconds, and then got nailed repeatedly, and now a lot of blood flowing. Armstrong looks just bone-weary, doesn't he? But he starts right out, heaves a sigh, and fires 4 shots in a row.
And he's had a superb 5th round. Look at him. He just lands that right hand.
Right.
And his Coffey isn't stopping. Coffey's been throwing combinations to the body and the head.
A lot of blood.
For action and skill, I tell you, this is the best heavyweight fight we personally have had on in a long time, maybe the last couple of years.
If Tyson and Pinklon Thomas put on a show this good on the 30th, they'll have done themselves proud.
That's for sure.
This is the 5th round. It is scheduled for 8, and it has just been a brutal 5 rounds. The bell bringing it to a close, and we go to Coffey's corner with him, and you can see the blood on his face. They'll mop it off, and we'll get a better look. It's a cut in the eyebrow of the right eye.
No. Where's the towel?
Now the ring, one of the doctors stepped in and took a look at it and called Davy Pearl over and said, "Dave, the cut's all right."
Dr. Romeo, and see they're working on it there. I don't know if it came from a punch or a clash of heads. Well, it could have come from a punch. Armstrong landed a lot in that last round.
Got to stop it?
It's going to hold for maybe 5 seconds.
What's this, 6 coming up?
It's the 6, yeah.
How's the nose?
Well, Terry Armstrong, when it looked like he was in some trouble, started early in the round to land good combinations against Cecil Coffey. And later on in the round, again, now there's a good left hook. That might have been where the cut happened. Yeah, it did.
Opened it up.
It did, I think, because you saw Cecil Coffey rubbing it with his right glove.
Well, Coffey started quickly in round 5, and he comes out quickly to get round 6 underway. It's scheduled for 8. That is above the right eye of Cecil Coffey. It is in the eyebrow. Dr. Romeo, ringside physician, Nevada State Commission, quickly up in the corner. There's a doctor in each corner and a member of the commission that comes in between rounds in each of the corners. They're right on top of their game here. This is probably one of the busiest fight cities or fight states in the country, in the world.
And along with New Jersey, I imagine.
Yep.
Now, there has been no lessening in the intensity or the technique of either of these fighters. It's the same now as it was in the first round.
Well, you know, this is slowly but surely resembling 2 guys back in the alley just going after each other. These 2 fellas have not taken a backward step from each other, and it's just I'll throw a punch and you throw a punch, and who's gonna hit the other guy and 1 extra ounce hard.
The only difference between this and that alley brawl you're talking about is the technique factor. They're throwing good punches, lots of good hooks and uppercuts by Coffey, good jabs. Armstrong has had an excellent jab throughout this fight, straight right hand. And this is Coffey's office now. He's in his place. And now in this round, you see he's doing a little bit better.
Backing Armstrong up, but Armstrong, I tell you, is a tough guy to discourage. Coffey's been banging away at him to the body for 5 rounds. We're in the 6th, and Armstrong has shown some signs of wear and tear.
Terry Armstrong's in shape, man. Let me tell you that. He has been nailed with outrageous body shots by Cecil Coffey. There's Armstrong using his elbow, but Cecil Coffey's been guilty of that, too. Look at Armstrong having a hard time keeping his hands up, but every time that happens, he nails Coffey with a good shot. Every time you think he's so tired.
Right. Coffey gets the same impression. He'll land 2 or 3 solid shots, and it looks as though Armstrong's about ready to throw in the towel. Good right hand.
What a nice 3-punch combination by Coffey. I mean, Cecil Coffey and Armstrong both still throwing combinations here in the 6th round after unbelievable pace of this fight.
Well, I tell you, conditioning is what's going to decide this, and Coffey appears to be just with a slight edge in that department over Armstrong, though the body shots may be the difference. Just when you think Armstrong is about to cave in, he rips off about 4 in a row. There's an uppercut as a case in point.
Well, Armstrong looking tired, but I hesitate to say that. Every time we say that, he does land something.
Indeed.
But what a good round for Coffey. After the 5th was a very good round for Armstrong.
Davy Pearl pushes the 2 big guys away as the clock ticks down, and the end of round 6 and round 7 is awaiting us, and we'll be back to see about it after this.
But the combinations. Look at Cecil Coffey. A 4-punch combination. 3 there, and he ended it with a right hand to the body. And boy, you can't fight on the inside any better than that. And you can't capture that picture any better than our ESPN crew did.
Here's the way we've got it tabulated. Al Bernstein's scorecard after 6 rounds.
58-57 for Coffey. It has to be a close fight. I believe, though, that Terry Armstrong is finally starting to wear out from this onslaught of Cecil Coffey. It really looks to me like he is slowing perceptibly.
Okay, when you consider the size of these men, the number of punches they've thrown and landed, the hurts they've put on each other, for them to still be at this pace here in the 7th round is remarkable.
And when was the last time you saw 2 heavyweights throw this amount of punches? I can't remember the last time in any heavyweight fight. And now Armstrong's very tired. Those body shots are really taking a toll.
They seem to be, although we've said and we repeat ourselves so many times in the past that Armstrong appeared to be getting tired, and all of a sudden he just turns it loose and rips off about 5 in a row, but it shows that right-handed Coffey. But Coffey, who has a chin like any concrete block.
He said today, he said, I don't want to take so many punches, but in this fight he's had to because Armstrong's been so good offensively. And there were times in that 5th round, Tom, when we look back, that it looked like Cecil Coffey might be crumbling, but he didn't.
No. Minute 30 and counting down here, and this the 7th round, and he's pretty much having his way with Armstrong now, though Armstrong every now and then will rip off 2 or 3 of them.
Cecil Coffey and his management might have looked and said, okay, we're going to go fight a guy who's 4-4, a sparring partner up in Las Vegas. Good chance for us after, since not fighting since September of '86, to really get back on track, get things going in the right direction. He has. He's fought well, but boy, it's a lot tougher than he thought, I'll bet.
Now, can you imagine not having been in the ring since September of last year, maybe 9 months, 8.5, and then get into the war like this?
And it shows you the conditioning of Coffey, the new technique he has, that he's able to do this well right now, because Terry Armstrong, a 25-year-old heavyweight who can beat a lot of heavyweights. I'll tell you right now, he might not have a great record, and he's in trouble now, and it might end, but give Terry Armstrong credit. He has fought extraordinarily well.
Armstrong almost to the point of hanging on, and Coffey comes right back, and Armstrong ties him up again, and now Davy Pearl, his cheek smeared with blood, steps between them. The blood coming from the eyebrow and the nose of Coffey. Armstrong keeps banging away, but throws that right hand, catches Coffey, who's a willing target. Now Coffey falls all over Armstrong.